Hey guys, and welcome to FaithWorks Designs. I'm Faith, and today I have finally gotten up the courage to do a video about my baby. I got her a couple of months ago from the Sailrite store online. My husband actually did the research on the machine because he knew the kind of thicker materials that I was going to be sewing on and with, and so he decided that he would look around. Everybody online was on the Juki train, and everybody's like, Juki, Juki, Juki. And I told my husband that that's kind of what I was leaning towards. Well, he's like, hold on. So he did a bunch of research for me, and once we knew we were going to have the money and we were ready to purchase, he ended up showing me the Fabricator. I looked online and I saw how each machine that they had, what different things that they would sew. So I knew that I was going to be sewing through waterproof, canvas, leather, faux leather, stuff like that with all of my purses. So I ended up checking out the Fabricator. Now it's a really great machine because she is a workhorse. I just got done with a bunch of book bags, and for just the top layer on one side there was 5 layers of waterproof canvas, 2 layers of cotton, 2 layers of vinyl, and I think that was it. But that was a lot to put through a machine. And if you actually watch some of their videos, they take jean material and they fold it and they fold it and they fold it and they fold it and they put it underneath the machine. So basically, if you can get it under the foot, it's going to sew through it. It's that great of a machine. So let's just talk about a couple of things real quick. So I'm going to do kind of like some negative first, but then just kind of all of the positives. So just hang with me, okay? As far as a negative, a lot of the Juki machines that I've seen come completely put together. Like they saran wrap it and drop it off at your house and you've got a machine that's ready to go. With the Fabricator, if you get the one that's with the table, which is what I got, you're going to end up having to put everything together. The table I don't think was the biggest issue, but like all of the mechanics that kind of go along with it, it was a lot. So if you're not one of those people that can kind of fix things, or you don't have someone in your house that can fix things, it might be a problem for you to get the Fabricator with a table. Now they do offer the option of having just the sewing machine itself, which is a tabletop, and then you can just use that to do all of your sewing with. Now I chose a table because I had borrowed someone's Singer. It was the 301A, and it was a wonderful machine. Like I almost got that one, but I borrowed it, and although it was heavy, it wouldn't like sit still. It kept moving whenever I would push things through. So I really wanted a sewing machine. I had never had one built in the table, and I really wanted to give it a try. And I'm really glad that I did. I like all of the things that come with it. It just gives me a really good workspace. It also just gives me a lot of the things that I've never had with another sewing machine, like all of the working pieces on the outside of the sewing machine. So as far as putting it together, it was a little frustrating for me. It took me a few days because I had to keep stopping to do other things. It does come in 4 boxes, so be ready for that. And they're heavy. So it does come in 4 boxes. You do have to put it together. It is a little bit of elbow grease. Now we get to go to the positives. The positives are that if anything ever happens to my sewing machine, I put the sewing machine together, so I'm going to know how to fix it. I had an issue with the belt. Most of the issues that I'm going to mention were my problem. like it was something that I had done wrong, because I had never had an industrial machine before, so I didn't know it well enough to be able to do all of this stuff. So I had an issue with the belt. It needed to be tightened. I went and looked online. Sailrite has thought of literally everything and any problem that you could ever think of with a machine, and they have a video on YouTube on how to fix it. If you message customer service with an issue that you're having, they'll send you a video on how to fix it. This is the one thing that I love. For years, if I've ever had a problem with my sewing machine, I had to take it somewhere and leave it and have somebody work on it. With this sewing machine, you're going to know it well enough. I mean, you can do the timing on this sucker. Like, they've got every video that you're ever going to need to be able to fix this thing. So I love this thing so much, and I'm so glad that my husband found it for me. If there's an issue with the belt, if there's an issue with the timing, what else have I had? Let's see. I've had a couple of issues since I had it, and it was user error. Because of all of the videos, and we're kind of more of a visual civilization right now, so with all of the videos that they have online, you can actually go on, figure out what's wrong with it, and then be able to fix it. Because you put your sewing machine together, you can fix it yourself. There is also a Sailrite Fabricator community. If you ever have any issues and say it's the weekend and you can't get a hold of anybody, I've also went on their Facebook page and was able to get somebody to help me right away. There's other people that have bought fabricators and they know about their machines, and they can actually help you figure out whatever it is. So in this video, I'm just going to kind of give you a basic overview. If you're interested in getting a fabricator and you'd like to know a little bit more about it, just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try and make a second video. I am just going to do basics because I am still figuring her out, and I think it's just going to be one of those things when you sew, you know that you don't know everything right away. You kind of have to learn as you go. Even sewing for 10 plus years now, I'm still learning things. So like a new sewing machine, the more you use it, the more you're going to learn it, and the more that you will feel confident enough to sew on it the way that you need to. So let's get started. Okay, so loading the bobbin's pretty easy. I make sure that the handle is facing me and turn it directly over. Then you want to make sure that you've got your bobbin with the string coming out to the right. Bobbin looking directly at you, string coming to the right, push it in. Find that little slot right there and make your string go in. Whoops, trying to look at the camera. Make your string go in and then through there. And it should freely spin as you pull the thread out. The next thing that you're going to do with this facing in, we're going to put it into the bobbin casing. Okay, I worked hard on this angle, so hopefully you guys can see what's going on. Alright, so we've got our bobbin casing. We're going to put it directly in there like so. And you should hear a little click when it's in there properly. And while we're down here anyway, let's talk about this knee lift. So basically, you're going to push this aside with your knee, and your presser foot goes up and down as you lift it up. Now this is also adjustable, so there's a screw here where you can put it more to the left or put it more to the right, or you can lift it down in the back. You can lift it up or down depending upon how short you are, and since I'm kind of short, it's pretty low. Now the foot pedal, this is also adjustable. You can move it to the left or to the right, whatever you're comfortable with. Since you're putting it together, you can put it in either direction you want. The idea is to make sure that it's comfortable and it fits you. So this is an under view of the back of the motor, and you can see there is the belt right there, and it's covered up by this so nothing hits on it. But right here, you see this thing, it looks like it could go back and forth and kind of swing like that. That's how you adjust the belt. So anytime that needs to get done, I know how to do that now because I put that belt on there. So there's a lot of YouTubers that say if you turn your flywheel at the same time that you're pulling your string out, it makes it easier to be able to get your string out. Well, they never show in a video how or where your needle is supposed to be before you turn this flywheel so that you can get your fabric out. Alright, so hopefully even from far away you can see where my needle is right now. It's not quite all the way up. It's actually in the stem still. But right now that's where this is. So when you turn the flywheel, which is all the way over here, oh, you can see it in the video, great. Okay, so we're going to lift up our presser foot. We are going to turn our flywheel, okay, and then when it gets almost all the way up, you turn as you're pulling out. Now with the Fabricator, when I first got it, I went ahead and used my regular the wall full of thread over there because I thought that I could use my regular thread with it. And you can, but every time I would pull out my thread, it would end up breaking. Also, when I would wind my bobbin, you'd end up seeing a lot of buildup. I'll try and get a video of that. This thread is going to break down. If you look at it really closely, you can see that there's a little bit of like fuzz on it. And so that's how a lot of your machines get kind of junked up and you have to constantly clean them out. That's coming from this. So after watching a few videos and doing a little bit of research, I found out that you need to use a heavier text thread. Now, I had no idea about text or any of this stuff. I've been sewing for years. I told you, you learn as you go. So I found a company, and I will link them down below. I believe it's Sunny Sewing Machines. They actually sell sewing machines. I think they sell Jukis on there. But they also sell thread. Now, I'm going to say that you're probably going to get a little sticker price shock because you're used to buying these little things that are like, what, if you wait for Hobby Lobby to go on sale, they're probably like $4 at the most. These are $13.95. Now, I wanted to go, I had $100. I'm like, I'm going to go buy all the things because I need all of the colors like over there. But when it was $13.95, I was like, So I went through and I got all of your basic colors. You're going to need white and you're going to need black. Those are going to be the two colors that you use all of the time. So I would highly suggest making sure that when you purchase the new thread that you get white and black. That's what you're going to need. Now for me, the text is going to be a little bit heavier because I make purses and bags and stuff. So if you've got an industrial and that's kind of the heavier duty stuff that you're doing, you need to Google that and search what kind of text that you're going to need. For me, it's text 70. I've got some text 80 coming that I'm going to play with soon and see if I like it or not. But it is polyester. It's bonded polyester or bonded nylon. There's two different ones that you can get. And with this particular kind of thread, you're going to end up having to burn the ends when you get done sewing. So what I normally do is when I'm top stitching, I will pull it out, cut my strings, and then burn it at the end. I never thought in a million years that I would have to have a bunch of lighters around. But here I am with a bunch of lighters hanging out in my sewing room. But you have to burn the ends because otherwise the bonded nylon and the bonded poly will unravel a little bit. It's just the way that it's made. But in your bags it'll be fine. You just need to be able to burn the ends so that that unraveling will stop. So that just needs to be a whole nother video in itself. But I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Before you order your machine, make sure that you know that you're going to have to order another kind of thread. And look and see what it is your project or projects are going to need. You may need a thicker one, you may need a thinner one. So look into Sunny Sewing Machines thread. They're really good about their customer service. I have not had a problem with them, and they actually pack them and wrap them really, really well. They're not going to unravel on you. And if you need storage solutions, IKEA has these little pokes and spokes, and they sit really good on top of them so that they just go right up there like that. Okay, so I'm going to apologize right now for the AC, but it is really warm out, so we're going to have to just deal with the noise. Okay, so when you first get your sewing machine, you're going to have these two, and you're going to have to put all of this together so that you can keep your threads on it. This one is the one that's going to go towards your machine. That's going to be your main thread for your machine. This one is going to be for your bobbin. You're going to put your bobbin here, thread it through here, and then down into your bobbin winder. Let me show you guys what I was talking about with thread. There we go. Okay, if you can see when I used to use the regular thread, it is all kind of funky and it's got the dust looking stuff all over it. That is from the other kind of thread. Now I actually need to clean this, but that's beside the point. Anyway, if you use the other thread, it's going to clog up. Now just see what you can see here. That's going to clog up inside of your machine. So make sure that you use a better thread so that you don't have that happen. Okay, so I grabbed a really nice bright thread. Excuse all of the mess back there. But you're going to take a thread up through here and then back down to your sewing machine. If you look in your manual, the very first spot that you're going to hit is back here. So you're going to take your thread from behind, pull it through, and then this next one you're going to skip the one that's in the middle and pull that through. And then you're going to come over here, you're going to come through the top one, pull it through, then you're going to go through the bottom one and pull upwards. Now there's like a little two pieces of metal right here that kind of have a space. That thread is going to go through that space. So you've got, I believe that's top tension. You're going to go around it and up. And then let's see. There we go. Let's turn some light on. Let's turn some light on. That'll help. Okay, so we went up around here. Now we're down around here. You're going to go up. There's this little piece of metal. So now we're a little closer. So we're going to go through the metal, and there's this little spring right here. We're going to go past the spring, bring it back so that we catch that spring. And then go down underneath this, up, and then there's a little piece right here. You're going to go do that. Well, there you go. Now, the next thing you're going to do is go through here. Then, okay, now once you have it through here, you're going to put it through this one. Then there's another one down here. So after you've got it through this little hook, then you're going to find this little hole right here. And then you're going to stick it through there, and pull it, and then find the eye of your needle and pull it through there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the stitch length. So what you're going to do is you're going to push from the top. This is your reverse lever, which we have not talked about. So this right here is your reverse that helps. It's your back stitch button, basically. So you're going to push this back, hit this down, and then go to whatever stitch length that you need. Normally mine's a 2.5 unless I'm top stitching, and then I'll either go to a 4 or a 4.5. But for the most part, that's kind of where you're going to keep it. Okay, so I had a bag to finish, so I figured I'd show you guys. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers of waterproof canvas, 2 layers of cotton, and 2 layers of vinyl. So if that gives you any indication of how thick this is, I've also got a size 20 needle in. And let me sew this up so you guys can see how easy it is to go through stuff. It's hard to get my clips off. This stuff is so thick, but this machine's sewing right through it. So you could see at a few points that it was so thick that I had a hard time getting the clips off, but this machine just went straight through it. Alright guys, I hope you liked that video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up or subscribe and hang around, see what other kind of sewing videos we'll be making with our fabricator. Or if you have any questions or comments, you can just leave them in the comment section down below and I'll get right to those. Thanks for joining us again on Faith Works Designs. Bye guys.